Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode with iTrack. Big shout out to all the iTrack fan, man, that has just tapped in. Huge shout out to all the iTrack members, man. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Let me go ahead and jump into a PSA. YouTube's algorithm has a mind of its own. So definitely there are times when comments go missing. I have plenty of instances where people message me and say that they've been unsubscribed. So, obviously I can't be doing either one of them because it's counterproductive. So just keep that in mind, But if this is your first time here, what we like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy videos from all across the internet and we kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. And what I generally like to do is once a week I like to drop a brand new vid and a classic on the back to catch up all the brand new fam that have just subscribed to the channel, man. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you haven't already, smash that like button for me, smash that hype button. If you're not a part of the iTrack fam, smash that subscribe button. Now let's just jump right into it.
Okay, I know this is about to sound fake, but these scientists in Japan just literally figured out how to erase memories from your brain using blue light. Imagine going through something traumatic and instead of getting years of therapy, a doctor just shines a blue light to your brain and then boom, the memory's gone. Guys, this is not Black Mirror right now. This is actual research from Japan and this is real. So scientists actually just tested this on mice by using something called optogenetics. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically where they hack brain cells so that they can be controlled. They trained the mice to fear a shock, and then whenever they lit up the fear center of the brain with blue light, boom, that long-term memory just vanished. What makes this whole thing even crazier is that these scientists are saying that they can actually switch the memory back on by using that same exact light. Like literally turning fear into a lamp that you could just unplug. This is not just one study right now. These other labs in Japan have now found ways to block memories in fruit flies and even restore lost memories in mice who had amnesia. Right now, they're saying that this only works on animals because obviously they're testing. But if this ever actually makes it to humans, we're literally talking about being able to fully remove memories of PTSD and traumatic experiences from people's brains. So is this going to be the future of mental health, or is this the scariest invention that humanity's ever made?
Now I can definitely think of a lot of positive use cases for this, but that kind of technology in the wrong hands could be all bad. Definitely be all bad. But let me know what you think about it.
Dirty facts about history that they'll never teach you in school, part 16. According to a 1992 biography, before she was married to Ronald, Nancy Reagan was known around Hollywood for giving the best head. She was reportedly known as Just Say Yes Nancy and was very popular on the MGM lot for her glucking abilities. Napoleon Bonaparte apparently loved Stinky Beaver. On several occasions, he wrote to his lover instructing her not to wash up before he returned to her. The wife of U.S. President Benjamin Harrison died while he was in office in 1892. 4 years later, Harrison married his dead wife's much younger niece and had a daughter with her. His original adult children, who were around 40 years old at the time, were so disgusted by their father marrying their cousin that they didn't attend the wedding. Legendary artist Jackson Pollock died in a drunken car crash in 1956, along with his passenger Edith Metzger. Legend has it that Edith was found with Pollock's bitten-off wiener in her mouth. In the late 1600s, a serial spanker used to terrorize the streets of London with his spanking tactics. Nicknamed Whipping Tom, the man would assault unaccompanied women by lifting their dresses and spanking their butts while yelling, "Spanko!" Vigilantes dressed as women started patrolling areas where he was known to strike.
Hey, isn't it comedy how there was no Instagram, no Facebook, no social media around back then, but we still know all of their dirty business? It's pretty interesting and funny at the same time.
Crazy money. I have crazy cute money.
You sold diamond resorts for
$3.3 billion enterprise value. But I can tell you this, that money doesn't buy happiness. It really doesn't. Because once you make so much money, you can buy other things, but what? Why? People try to go buy this fancy thing. I'm like, I don't want it. It means nothing. I'd rather give. I'd rather take care of people.
so things don't make you happy to a certain extent.
Oh, things don't make you happy at all. Nope. And that's what people will understand once you grow up. Things don't make you happy. Experiences make you happy. Memories make you happy. And you know what? I never worried about the money. I never dreamed about the money. It just came. It just happened. I had so much money, I didn't even know what to do with it.
But having it and having it be your reality. I know you said it hasn't changed you, but for the person who's chasing it and putting such a priority on it, what do you say to them?
It can all go away in a heartbeat. You should be happy with what you're doing. It's not the main objective. If it comes, it comes. It's okay to be okay.
I'm gonna call cap on that, because if you rather give, you need a cash app, what do you need to pay, what do you need? Because if that's the case, you know, I'm sure there's hundreds of people that could use $1 million or $2 million if you got billions. Let me know.
Both scientists and viewers utterly perplexed.
What is it? It's going for a long time. It's like a fireball, but not really. It's the wrong color.
During a lightning storm near their home in Alberta, Ed and Melinda Party witnessed a lightning bolt strike the ground less than a kilometre away. But what happened next was even more astonishing. A glowing, brilliant blue ball of light appeared, hovering eerily above the ground.
What is it? It's going for a long time. It's like a fireball, but not really. It's the wrong color.
Guys, beaches all across the US just got shut down over Labor Day weekend because the water literally tested positive for something that you don't want to know. They just found unsafe levels of fecal bacteria in the water. Yes, that means exactly what you think it means, and it just showed up in water tests all across the country. So imagine just for a second that you're one of the people getting ready for the last big weekend of the summer, and then officials are like, yeah, don't touch the water. The ocean basically just failed its annual health inspection. They're saying that Cape Cod, Long Island, California, Florida, and even Hawaii all just had their beaches flagged. Like, you can't escape this. This is coast to coast. These scientists have found that 61% of the beaches that were tested had at least one day with dangerous levels. That's more than half the beaches in the country. If you're wondering how this happened in the first place, they're saying that the heavy rain washed nasty stuff into the water, and then the sewer systems leaked, and then straight up sewage overflowed into the ocean. The risk of swimming in this right now are no joke. There's a warning that you can get infections, stomach bugs, rashes, basically all of the souvenirs that you don't want to get on your trip. And then officials are giving out another warning saying do not swim for 72 hours after rain. And then they're saying that if the water looks cloudy or if it smells a little bit weird, don't cannonball into it. Maybe just stick to the pool this weekend.
I guarantee you it's a few people out there that are living that YOLO lifestyle that want to mess around and find out. Be my guest.
¿Cómo se quiere que la gente no quiere?
¿Por qué tan lejos? Porque la marina está al centro, pero al fondo. Al fondo. ¿Es por donde hubo el incendio, no?
Hay tres, pues hay tres.
Oye, huevón, en la cámara acaba de pasar ahorita una niña corriendo.
¿Así?
He tells his workmate that he just saw the shadowy figure of a little girl run behind him.
Oye, en la cámara acaba de pasar ahorita una niña corriendo. Oye, la niña que llora. Oye, te juro que en la cámara acaba de pasar ahorita.
His co-workers don't seem to believe him, so the man goes to check, but nothing there. Footage from a second bank security camera shows the bank's front doors seeming to open. And then close, all on their own.
The blackest color in the world is called Masu black. It is so dark that it absorbs 99.9% of light, which makes it appear almost unreal, like a void in space. This incredible pigment was engineered with special nanostructures that trap light inside, preventing it from bouncing back to the eye, which is why it creates such an intense sense of emptiness. Even if you point the brightest light at it, it will not be visible. Here you can see 3 different shades of black on one sheet: normal black, medium black, and Masu black. Normal black and medium black reflect some light, but Masu black remains completely dark. And here's a surprising fact. This type of black is so extreme that the human brain cannot properly interpret the shape or depth of the objects painted with it. When something is covered with Masu black, it looks completely flat, as if it were just a reflection. In reality, even if it actually has volume or texture, this phenomenon happens because our eyes depend on shadows and reflections to perceive the shape of objects. But since Masu black does not reflect any light, it eliminates those visual cues.
What if the God of the Bible was actually a dragon? Yahweh at one point commanded the Israelites to worship a bronze dragon for healing, despite explicitly forbidding idol worship. This suggests that the dragon was a representation of himself. This sounds wild until you read Psalms and Samuel, where Yahweh is described as a being who emits smoke from his elongated nostrils, fire from his mouth, and unleashes immense destruction. Classic dragon imagery. He also sends seraphim, which are literally fiery flying serpents, to punish his people and entity Revelation later equates with the dragon. Additionally, dragons across cultures are known to demand gold, food offerings, and girls, the very same tribute Yahweh demands in Numbers. Some researchers, like Paul Wallace, argue that the name Yahweh originally carried a harsh or k sound, a unique sound commonly found in the names of dragon gods like Kukulkan, Quetzalcoatl, and Egypt's Akech. In the book of Joshua, Yahweh or Yahweh is even presented as a counterpart to Akech, a known dragon being, suggesting that they may be the same type of entity. Follow me for more hidden knowledge.
Now, out of all the interpretations I've ever heard of the Bible, I think that's probably the most far out that I've heard. I don't know if I can get behind that. But let me know what you think, though. You think he's reaching, or do you think there's some validity to it? Definitely let me know in the comments.
It's the first thing that comes to your mind when you watch this. Check it out, and then we'll talk. Okay, so what we just saw is a hybrid air and underwater 3D printed drone, which was designed and built by a small team of undergrad students in Denmark at Aalborg University. So after watching this, what comes to your mind? What use cases or other things come straight into your mind? Comment below. Let me know.
Instantly, it reminded me of all those drones that people were seeing over there off of in New Jersey, off the coast, right? The ones that they were saying UFOs were in the water, in the ocean. Reminds me of that, if you ask me. Let me know what you think.
Something people might not know about you is that you've won the lottery a couple times.
I've won the lottery twice. The first time I was 18, right before I went to my friend Brandon Warnicki's house, I stopped at the Krausers or the 7-Eleven and bought the phone number, pick 3, pick 4, 756-1407. I'm literally at his house. And I'm like, let's put on New Jersey 12 or whatever, where they do the lottery. And literally 1407, I played it box, not straight, which means it could come out in any order. And it was like 7, 4, 1. And then I jumped up. If this is 0, I'm going to shit my pants. 0. Explode. Get in the car and drive back to Krausers to cash in my tickets and won like $3,000, which was like $1 billion at the time. And then the other time I won was 963, another phone number of mine, and I watched it with my cousin Bobby. Basically, same story. I played it probably like 500 times because I did a lot from like 18 to 22. It's super wild.
To life is that everything is a paradox. It is easier to be lazy, but it feels better to do hard things. Muscles grow by tearing them down. You will feel more joy when you're open to feeling pain. You know, the more you try to control your life, the more out of control you feel. You see, we spend our lives running from discomfort, not realizing that the very thing we're looking for is in the discomfort. So the paradox is that the more you embrace that everything is backwards, the more life starts to make sense.
There was no cap detected there. He was dropping nothing gems.
Find a bad friend. Like, how do you know? How do you spot one?
I don't think you spot them. I think you feel it, you know. And I think it's a lot easier for us to spot than we think it is. One of the easiest ones is, can you be yourself? You know, and sometimes they're not a bad friend. They're a bad friend for you because you are not revealing yourself to them. And so they are being friends with the idea of you, but they're not being friends with you. And then you leave thinking, I don't feel good. But they don't even know you. So you can't blame them for being a bad friend.
I've never met a successful person in my life who learned anything when things went well. They learned every lesson they needed to learn that helped them achieve when things went horribly wrong. And the most successful people in the world, every single one of them, hit 0 or came damn close to it. Almost every single one.
So failure is a gift.
Oh my God, it's the...
Following video, a nurse working at a hospital decides to go inside a room where many doctors and nurses are afraid to be in. The room in question is located on a floor that, according to rumors, is haunted. It isn't known if the rumors are true, but apparently, after what was captured, it may be the case that something truly strange is happening on this floor. On March 9th of 2021, a nurse known as Sinead Richardson pays a visit to the floor in question. On this floor, there's a hidden room that for some reason is blocked off from access. So, one night, Sinead decides to enter this room. She had gained access by asking a custodian to open it for her, but little did she know, this was a bad idea. Watch.
So everybody wants to see what's behind the door, so I'm back and I'm gonna show you what's finally behind this door, okay? Alright, so one more time, this is everything that's wrote on the door behind this door in this hospital, and it's been unlocked, so I'm gonna go inside. I feel scared.
It happens quickly, but in case you missed it, here it is again. It now makes sense as to why Shanae had suddenly shut the door. Out of instinct, she had backed away upon seeing what looks like a face staring at Shanae from a distance. Its disembodied head seemingly stays in place without moving an inch, or at least it seems like that, because apparently viewers claim that the head can be seen moving for just a bit. She wasn't exactly sure what she'd seen, but whatever it was, it prompted a sudden urge within her to leave the space immediately. It was only after watching the video that she saw what it was. Not much else is known about this incident or what occurred afterwards, but until there's an update, this incident remains a mystery.
95% of who we are by the time we're 35 years old is a memorized set of behaviors, emotional reactions, unconscious habits, hardwired attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions that function like a computer program. A person can say with their 5% of their conscious mind, I want to be healthy, I want to be happy, I want to be free. But the body's on a whole different program. So then how do you begin to make those changes? Well, you have to get beyond the analytical mind, because what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is the analytical mind. And that's where meditation comes in, because you can teach people through practice how to change their brainwaves, slow them down. And when they do that properly, they do enter the operating system where they can begin to make some really important changes.
An unexpected turn. The astronauts doing the spacewalks will now be wearing snorkels after the last astronaut who performed a spacewalk nearly drowned when his helmet filled with water. Let's get to...
But just my gut inside me said, that's my dive buddy, and I should be with my dive buddy. That's my dive buddy, and I should be with my dive buddy.
But the last spacewalk ended with Italian astronaut Luca Parmitano nearly drowning in his helmet after it started filling with water.
Water is in his eyes now, and it seems to be increasing.
Fellow astronauts quickly pulled him back into the station. When they did, water poured from the helmet.
And just out of the airlock right now, and I'll get in config to get the waist feathers all hooked up, the safety feathers, I should say.
Dave Williams beginning the third spacewalk of his career.
I saw some droplets coming out, and I'm looking at you from camera Charlie.
Okay.
And I saw them go up towards your feet.
Okay, I don't see anything.
Bubbles in Space starts today at theaters everywhere.
Marco!
Deadly fungal disease that is spreading across the U.S. and posing a serious global health threat at this time. Cases of Candida auris, or C. auris, they have increased dramatically from the previous years, and it is now in the United States it has made its way across to the U.S. In a recent report that has shown. C. auris is a type of yeast that can cause severe illness and is often resistant to antifungal treatments, which means that that there are medications that are designed to stop the fungus, and it says it does not work against this particular one. So these are coming out in the past couple days. Here's another headline that reads, Deadly Candida auris fungal infection is spreading rapidly across the United States with a 60% loss of life rating. Here's another one that came out from Axios. What we need to know. This one came out February 6th about Seattle's potentially deadly fungus outbreak. That's right. So we have just received reports this month that this is now here in the United States.
This is officially the most peaceful country of 2025. So today, the annual Global Peace Index was just released, and starting with the world's least peaceful countries in 2025, we have Yemen, DRC, Sudan, Ukraine, and Russia in dead last for the first time. On the other end, we have Switzerland in 5th, Austria in 4th, New Zealand taking bronze, Ireland in 2nd, and Iceland is this year's most peaceful country. Canada is 14th, the UK is 30th, China is 98th, South Africa is 124th, and just 4 places below them is the United States. Only 21 places higher than North Korea. So the question is, do you agree with this list or not?
I'm a little surprised, but not that surprised, if that makes sense. Now, for all the international iTrack fam, let me know how accurate you think that list is.
Rare photos. This is a blood clot coughed up by a patient that perfectly shaped the lungs cavity it had filled. Henry VII's armor suits had an ever so slightly sized exaggerated codpiece. This is a giant tiger land snail found roaming in various parts of Western Africa. This new mom passed her uniquely rare hair trait genes to her newborn daughter. This is the hoof of a hadrosaur dinosaur, which was recently discovered with fully intact dinosaur skin. This is a species of pigeon known as the brown frillback with natural curly feathers. It comes as a result from years of selective breeding. This person went to take their trash out only to find a coconut crab crawling up their trash can. This plumber went to fix a clogged toilet only to find someone's dentures had been flushed down it. A photo taken of a typical bald eagle's nest with a park ranger sitting inside of it to show the true scale. This person has shark tattoos that look like they're swimming in water due to the 3D shadow effect created by the tattoo artist. This is the incredible size of a hippo skull in comparison to an adult human skull.
Things I wish I never learned. Letting a dog lick you in your face or near an open wound can expose you to a bacteria that can cause a flesh-eating disease, sepsis, and even limb amputation. When you flush a toilet without closing the lid, the toilet sprays microscopic shit particles up to 6 feet in the air. Ballooning is how some spiders travel through the air using their silk. The spider climbs to a high spot and then it releases its silk and the air carries it away like a kite. Scientists have found spiders up to 2 to 3 miles up in the air, and they have even landed on ships 100 miles out at sea. When you smell a fart, you're actually inhaling tiny shit particles. You know that strong chlorine smell that everyone thinks means the pool is clean? Yeah, chlorine itself doesn't really have a smell. That smell only happens when the chlorine mixes with pee and sweat.
And cloning technology, we got in a huge fight with the Swiss. They, as you all know, are the heads of the cloning technology. A big problem happened when we ended up cloning Jamie Foxx. I can't get into it here. I did sign an NDA, but let's just say it ruined our relationship with the Swiss cloning people. And, hey, not my fault. I'm just the head of the interns. But honestly, that Jamie Foxx clone looks like trash. And we do want the refund, and we should get the refund. And it's not okay that you're still dodging our refund request, Swiss scientists.
And that's why when I first posted the video of Jamie Foxx talking about what happened to him, we all noticed he didn't have that tattoo on his head. I wonder why.
I don't like the fact that Nestle, bro, owns like all the water. That's kind of sketch, bro.
Nestle has a really dark past if you guys look into it.
God made water for the whole world. Water shouldn't be sold. Can you just see what brands they own? Please pull it up.
Oh my gosh, bro. No way, bro. How does one company have a monopoly on all of them?
These are scaly-footed gastropods, and apparently they were discovered inside a volcano. They can handle temperatures of over 750 degrees Fahrenheit, and they have an iron shell. But that's not even the craziest part. These snails do not consume anything. Instead, they absorb iron particles from the volcanic vents underwater, and then they take those iron particles and convert them into nutrients and energy. So you mean to tell me that not only is this the only creature in the world with an iron exoskeleton, they also consume iron? That's a freaking Pokemon.
There's 2 types of secret societies. One is the group like Masons, Bilderberg, Bohemian Grove, Council on Foreign Relations, Skull and Bones. They're not secret. People know they exist. They know who the members are. But what goes on is secret. That's the first group. Then there's the second group of secret societies, which are really secret, that no one's ever heard about, like the Brotherhood. The real secret societies nobody knows exist.
I don't necessarily believe we live in a simulation, but after visiting Bluff, Utah, I can't rule it out as a possibility.
facility.
So I actually stayed in Bluff like 3 years ago, and I had a pretty similar experience to this guy. First of all, there's no lobby for this hotel. You check in at a gas station across the street, and then the hotel's just one long hallway. It's pretty much only lit by skylights, so it gets kind of dark and creepy at night. Also, these rooms are like really expensive. I paid $142 for this room, and I was pretty much the only one at the hotel. Like, there were vacancies. It wasn't like they were getting booked up. And they almost seemed surprised that I was willing to pay that much for their room. Because if you look at the room, like, the sheets on the bed were all like fuzzy blankets, and like the air conditioning just did not work.
I'm in Bluff right now, Bluff, Utah. Like, I think 3 people live here, and they're all incredibly mean to me. This is my dinner. So we've got 2 of the finest gas station slices and a lukewarm soda. It only appears chilled because the room is currently set to 1 billion degrees. Oh, but at least I have towels or rags for my use.
The science behind Om chanting freaking blows my mind. It's funny because people that have like no experience with meditation or anything like that, you know, you've seen it in the movies, right? Anybody that's meditating, it's always Om, Om. Well, the science behind it is crazy. Like this study, they looked at Brahmari Pranayama, humming, also known as Om chanting, to see how it impacts your stress. They compared it to physical activity, emotional stress, and literally getting 8 hours of sleep. And guess what? Guess what was the best thing for you? Om chanting. It literally lowered the stress index more than sleeping. Oh, you're congested in your nose? You have chronic stuffiness? Yeah, chanting Om, that'll take care of it for you. Want to raise your immunity, have better lung function, and reduce your heart rate? Om chanting is the answer. It's just insane to me because there are so many benefits, and like even from like a religious perspective, they believe that Om, A-U-M, is the primordial sound. It is the sound of all creation. If you go into space, that humming you hear, that is Om. It is the vibration of creation. So how do you do it? I've got a clip for you.
Okay. And it's really simple. We're just going to emit sound with an open mouth, and then we're going to go all the way to a closed mouth. That's all Om chanting is. If you literally look at the actual translation of Om, it's not O-M, it's A-U-M. It's because with a completely open mouth, with a half open mouth, and then with a fully closed mouth, that's what Om chanting is. So we're going to go from start to finish, A through U all the way to M. And we kind of want to do it in a gradual way. So we want the whole thing to maybe last 9, 10, 12 seconds, something like that. So we're going to open our mouths, do it with me. That's one.
So Om chanting isn't literally saying Om, it is just pushing that sound out. Okay? The next video, we're gonna go into like a meditation technique using Om chanting, and it is crazy. This is probably the #1 technique where it's like if you do it and you pay attention to the vibrations within your body, you go inwards, you get downloads from the universe, and it's so hard to explain, you just have to experience it. Love you, bye.
I'm gonna have to go out on a limb and call cap on that. I mean, I don't think anything supersedes sleep. The sleep is the alpha and the omega, if you know what I'm talking about, man. I don't know. Let me know what you think, though.
Kevin Gates is at it again, guys. There's another video of him going viral talking about how he's been to heaven. Now, him saying he's been to heaven is not the crazy part. The crazy part is how he described it. Watch this clip.
I've been to heaven, what people call heaven. I've been to the celestial court. I got here through fasting. I'm talking about not eating nothing. For like 42 days, I ain't eating nothing. Just liquids, just water. Like, people want to know, like, well, how did you fast? And, hey, you not going to do it 3 days. You're not going to do it 4 hours. You're not going to, so why even ask? But I have to give this enlightenment to people. But through fasting, I was able to go into the celestial court. I had been behind the first veil once. Mm-hmm. I've been behind the second veil twice. And I've been behind the third veil once. In the fourth veil, that's when I saw people. I went to, oh, forgive me, you heard me, that's that lit thing. Yeah, it's crazy. Now I was talking about my brother and he called me. We telepathic. We telepathic, but he gifted. He gifted. But Anyway, long story short.
Hey, fasting definitely will take you places spiritually, mentally, all that. So you know what? Kevin Gates might have seen some things, but he definitely is a character. It make you feel like he's putting extras on it, but he might have actually been there.
Ain't banging is a lot of witchcraft. The hand signals, they have what's called knowledge. They would fast, how you communicate. You know, folk means for our Lord King Satan. Folks. I didn't know that. And they would throw up pitchforks. I was in a whole gang worshiping the devil pretty much.
They even wear the beads.
They wore the beads. They got to get the beads blessed.
How do you get the beads blessed?
So like the beads had to get blessed by one of the higher ups. Like the women. The men do a lot of the guns and the drug dealing and everything, but the women, what they do is a lot of the witchcraft. The women would be all beaded up and they'll be doing protection on you. When you go out and you selling weight, it would bless you.
I was in the Santeria and Voodoo, bro. Like I had to get my beads blessed. It was a witch, bro. It was a bruja. She would take the beads, put it in the Florida water, take the cigar smoke, bless the beads for me to go out. I never put this. It's crazy.
And it's by rank. So like the more beads you had, the more deeper you were in.
It's the same thing with Voodoo and Santeria.
Yeah.
I really truly believe a lot of homeless people are actually possessed by demons because they're in such a state of filth. Okay, it doesn't matter what their background is. Any human being that's living in the streets, defecating on themselves, urinating on themselves, they don't shower, okay? And they're spiritually gone, also mentally gone, they become a vessel for the demonic realm. I truly believe this. You see a lot of people say mental illness. Yeah, there's some of that. But I believe a lot of mental illness actually comes from spiritual problems.
A crazy plan was proposed to clean the Statue of Liberty through this bizarre method for America's 250th, but officials warned that it'd actually be a terrible idea. 30 years after the statue arrived in America, a devastating fire at a nearby military ammunition depot caused a massive blast that severely damaged its interior, preventing any future public access to the torch. That same year, the statue turned fully green as its original copper-brown finish oxidizing. Now, less than a year before the nation's 250th anniversary, some are calling for a major restoration of the statue by first using lasers to strip the green layer, exposing the original copper brown underneath, and then completely reworking the upper internal structure to reopen access to the torch. But government officials say this would be one of the dumbest ways to waste taxpayer money, as not only would the copper simply re-oxidize after less than 10 years, it would also cause irreparable damage to Lady Liberty, as the green layer is actually preventing the statue from corroding.
They actually made a great point by pointing out how the taxpayers' dollars should be used. I mean, we have a lot of horrible streets that should be fixed. There's a lot of other things that need to be done. Statue of Liberty, I'm sure they'll get around to it, but definitely there's a bigger issues at hand, a lot of bigger fish to fry for sure.
It's not good to dream about your partner, and here's why. Our dreams show us issues that we have to deal with. And if somebody shows up in your dream, then you have an issue with that person. So the best relationships, those people do not dream about each other at all. There is a minor exception. If your partner is super, super good in some way and they show up in your dream positively, they're always going to show up in your dreams positively. But 99.9% of us, that is not true. We just don't want to dream about a partner because it means there's problems in the relationship. And the rest of the dream is going to show you that there's problems in the relationship.
So woke up this morning and was asked to read the face of Robin Westman. When this happens, usually something untoward has gone on. I guess he killed a couple of young kids. Such a sad thing. But let's find out what we know about this Robin. The 9 face shapes, he's a combination between a tree and a fire face. Tree faces like to grow on their own. They like to be trimmed back. The fire is about sensitivity. That's that real narrow chin. So not only are they sensitive, they tend to be oversensitive. And the next thing we look at is the right and left eye. The right eye is what we show to the world. It's our public persona. It's our mother's influence. The left eye is our true inner private self, and it's our father's influence. Normally, you're going to see more of a positive on that right side, and if anything, a little more negative on the left side. In this situation, can't say that. If you cover up his left eye, his right eye, he's very intense, and there's a hint of anger, which is not something good to show to the world, obviously. On the left side, he's lost. He's just completely and utterly lost. He just doesn't know who he is, where he is, anything like that. Hairline is next. Hairline is very narrow. When you see the hair come into the corner of the eye, this indicates very strict upbringing, probably was forced to conform to parental wishes and demands, but also his hairline is a little wavy at the top, which means he probably was rebellious. Certainly his teen years were rebellious, he's going to be a rebel. He's just going to rebel against whatever. Eyebrows, they're different heights. This is often, it's very slight, but this is often a sign that he's moody, he's oversensitive, and probably had issues with a parent or a step parent. Upper eyelid, notice how puffy it is, especially on that left side. This is a gallbladder indicator. Would he have problems digesting fats? Possibly. I'm not concerned about this guy's health. I'm concerned about the psychological aspects of what we're seeing here. This is about internalized anger. The fact that it's on the left side, that's the male side. He's got some anger with a male, possibly himself. I don't know anything about the guy. His ears are unequal sizes. When we see this, it is a sign that they've had lots of challenges in childhood. They've really had a hard time figuring out their childhood. Now, my biggest concern are his eyes. There's two things here that jump out at me. One is he's got white on three sides. This is a term that we refer to in face reading as lower sympacu. There's also upper sympacu. So white should be on the right and the left, but not on the top or the bottom. And you can see here he's got some white. This is a sign of fanaticism and addictive tendencies.
It's definitely getting a little bit easier to read faces now, and that guy definitely gave me the creeps. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You can either do the dirt or you can know the dirt. I'm one of the chosen high-ranked know the dirt individuals, right? And so dirt responds as they should when the vacuum walks in. I came to deliver an interview having seen some of my competitors and peers get on that same court and do a performance that involved my name. And so once 6 or 7 of you have made this same violation, it's my job as the king to show up and chastise thee. This is my job. I'm supposed to come in and restore order because that's my position. The fact that it's ignored by the clowns because they're all in the same frat, comedically, like, that's all well and good. I don't care nothing about none of that. But the job still needs to be done. And if God lets me know it's a good time for that, that's how I'm going to write it up and deliver it. So I didn't know anything Shannon was going to say. I didn't know what questions he was going to ask. Like there was no conversation. Yeah.
We have some crazy things going on in the world right now. Russia is cutting electricity and internet after 10 p.m. in order to boost their birth rates. A 23-year-old is preparing to become the first human on Mars, and she's never going to return to Earth. In China, people are paying $4 a day to pretend they have jobs. Some are renting fake offices, some are posing as CEOs, all just to hide their unemployment from their families. Denmark has officially raised its retirement age to 70, which is the highest in Europe. Nancy Pelosi is now worth $264 million while serving 38 years in Congress with an annual salary of $223,000. A former Doge engineer says that federal waste and fraud were relatively non-existent. China is digging the deepest hole on planet Earth. Tesla's new Cyber Quad is a $1,650 quad bike for kids. A billionaire passed away after swallowing a bee at a polo match. A woman discovered that her husband thought White Claws were energy drinks, and he's been drinking one on the way to work every single day, meaning he's been pre-gaming his 9 to 5.
Yikes. The one that stuck out to me the most is the chick heading to Mars and she's never coming back. That is wild, man. Prayers up for her.
Do you know the people running the websites and app you use can see everything you do and type, even if you don't hit submit? Let's say you accidentally paste your Amazon password into the email field on some random site, but then you delete it right away. Too late. If that site's using session recording, it's already been captured. Session recording is like a screen recording of your visit. They can see where your mouse moved, what you clicked, what you typed, yes, even what you typed and then erased. It's not malware, it's not a virus, but it's invasive and everywhere. If you're on a site or using an app with session recording, everything you do has likely been recorded. And you should assume most of the sites and apps you use are recording your sessions. Didn't hit submit or save? Doesn't matter. Because the moment you typed it, it was captured in a video they can play back whenever they want.
It seems like it never ends. We're being watched from every single crevice and avenue that they can possibly get into.
Take a picture of yourself in ChatGPT and say, tell me how my health is. It
diagnoses you. So I did that. I took a picture and it said, you have rings around your eyes from lack of sleep. You probably have bad allergies. You look like you're vitamin D deficient and you're dehydrated based on your lips. Everything they said was spot on. And it's unbelievable how accurate it is.
So basically, ChatGPT has replaced your doctor in an instance.
It's a brand new crop circle and it just appeared in Dorset. And it's unlike anything we've seen yet this year. Let's break this one down just a little bit, because at first glance, it looks like a flower or an insect, but there is deeper geometry and it suggests something perhaps more intentional. There's a mirrored axis that runs vertically, almost like a body with arms or antenna. Notice the interlocking arcs. It's all perfect symmetry, precise spacing, maybe way too random for human trampling, many would say. Some are saying that this resembles sacred geometry, maybe the flower of life, maybe Metatron's cube deconstructed, and others say it looks like a coded glyph. But there is one thing that does have people talking, and it's not far from ancient sacred sites. So they believe that these crop circles might be part of an energetic grid showing up near ley lines. And with recent talk about increased solar activity and everything, these Anunnaki communication attempts, maybe they're not far off, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you see any patterns here? Do you see a message or a symbol? Maybe it's something that we're not meant to understand yet. I don't know. Drop your theories. Let's decode this together.
Not seeing the world. You're seeing what your brain expects. There's a glitch in your brain's reality filter. It hides it until I show you. Look at this photo. You'll swear it's in color, but it's not. Your brain fills in the colors because it hates uncertainty. That's how easily it lies to you. Now imagine this. If your brain hides the truth about a photo, what else is it hiding every day? Not everything your brain hides is harmless.
This is just another way of letting you know that they watching whatever the hell you do on your cell phone. So it's been confirmed that iOS 26 will now freeze your FaceTime video calls if it detects nudity. Like, what the fuck you doing watching for anyway? Like, ain't that invasion of privacy? Now, it goes on to say one of the features you will be able to use with iOS 26, now only available in the development beta, is protecting your privacy during video calls. Your iPhone can now automatically pause a FaceTime call if it detects someone undressing or showing nudity. But you will be given a message: the audio and video of this call has been paused because it may be showing sensitive content. If you're feeling uncomfortable, you should consider ending the call. Like, who came up with this update and why? People know what the hell they doing if they decide to get nude on their motherfucking FaceTime. That's just another way to say these motherfuckers watching what the fuck we doing. Now, I don't know if you can bypass the update, but just keep in mind, they watching.
Either way it goes, for them to be putting AI in our FaceTime to be detecting nudity or not, I think that's just a bit too far for me. But let me know what you think.
Team of highly skilled engineers to land a fly on somebody's head. We typically get hired to land a fly on high-profile political candidates during live events that are being broadcast to a large audience. You might have seen our work in 2016 when we landed a fly right on Hillary Clinton's eyebrows, or more recently during the vice presidential debate when we landed a fly on Mike Pence's head and it sat there for about 2 minutes. The objective is usually to distract the viewer from what the candidate is saying, and more importantly, distract the media from reporting about what the candidate is saying and focus more on the fly itself. And let's face it, nobody remembers what Mike Pence said during those 2 minutes our fly was sitting on his head.
Exactly. Actually, I did, whenever you do a film like this where you fight Satan or the devil, you have to prepare yourself the right way. And so I did research in satanic kind of cults and stuff like that. You know, as a matter of fact, in Los Angeles right now, there's like 50,000 devil worshippers. And that's not even that's not even including the agents.
Yeah.
But let me
Our crowd was too busy cheering satanic worship to hear the joke.
Exactly. 50,000 in Los Angeles, that's a lot of people worshiping the devil. That's what you call creepy.
The real reason gold is so expensive is that it can induce the ability to perceive and travel interdimensionally. In Genesis of the Grail Kings, Lawrence Gardner cites how ancient Egyptian priests knew the secret to transform gold into a white monatomic substance, which would be able to, quote, disappear from sight into another dimension of space-time and then return. It was said to have an anti-gravitational effect and was thought to transfer its weightlessness to anything in contact with it, possibly explaining how the massive blocks of the pyramids were moved into place. The consumption of this gold was believed to activate the pineal and pituitary glands to extraordinary levels and was ingested by kings and pharaohs to enhance perception and intuition, making them, quote, almost like gods. It was considered the ultimate food for the light body and is also identified as the hidden manna mentioned in the Bible. It is also said to be capable of emitting pure light, not the light we see, but a purer proto-form of it. This white gold derivative is also said to be synonymous with the Philosopher's Stone, which grants one the ability to materialize any substance at will, travel interdimensionally, and even achieve. Follow me for more hidden knowledge.
Iron is a nasty piece of work. You know who tried to warn us? Martha Stewart. She was on some random game show and she was like, I know everybody thinks he's funny, but he lives in my building and he's really not. And she heavily implied that he was like not a nice guy.
Something, he's not so funny in real life. Really? No, he's not so funny. He's very serious.
And everyone's looking at that now being like, Martha Stewart knew that Ryan Reynolds was insane and actually like a mean person. It is one of the most evil Hollywood plots between a couple with a tremendous amount of power, being Blake and Ryan, who were just going to like take over and destroy a man's entire life because they wanted to put her name on a movie.
You know it's serious when Martha got to chime in and give her 2 cents, especially when nobody asked. And her 2 cents didn't seem to be too polite about Mr. Reynolds now.
Gust of wind in Chicago, every car in a traffic jam in Mexico City, every wave crashing onto the shores of Bali is being translated into data second by second. That data flows into massive computer models powered by artificial intelligence. The result, a living digital model of Earth, one that reflects the real world as it changes. But this isn't just a map. It's a full operating system for reality. A tool that lets us simulate, plan, and even rewrite the future. Earth is no longer just a planet orbiting the sun. It's now mirrored in cyberspace. A digital Earth that breathes, learns, and evolves with us.
Today's episode is Alien Avatar.
Embody and control a humanoid robot through H2L's innovative capsule interface. Just by sitting in the capsule, the user can see and interact with the world through the eyes and body of a robot. The inside of the capsule is filled with muscle displacement sensors, speakers, and displays. By shifting your back or slightly moving the hands and feet, force and movement is communicated to the robot. At the same time, the interface delivers audio-visual information from the robot to the user. What would virtual reality feel like when you can transmit movement into a personal avatar while receiving audio-visual and physical input back? The elderly and disabled can interact with the physical world even if they're bedbound.
Robotic human surrogates combine the durability of a machine with the grace and beauty of the human body. With most people living their lives through their surrogate selves, our world has become a safer place. Take a seat in your STEM chair, and just with the power of your mind, you can control your surrogate and send it out into the real world. You can live your life without limitations. You see what they see, feel what they feel, and become anyone you want to be from the comfort and safety of your own home.
There's a region in your brain that activates 0.07 seconds before you make a decision. You think you're in control? You're not. Neuroscientists call it the illusion of intention. You believe you choose, but your brain chose first. It does this every second, every hour, without you noticing. You are not who you think you are. Don't blink.
All right, here we go. So this is what his cellmate said just recently.
Jeffrey Epstein's former cellmate, Nicholas Tartaglione, claimed in a new interview that Epstein offered him money to help end his life before the financier's suicide in 2019. Tartaglione, a former police officer and convicted murderer, revealed that Epstein wrote a hidden suicide note and was desperate to die after his bail was denied. According to Tartaglione, Epstein asked for advice on making a noose and tried to take his own life while sharing a cell with him. but Tartaglione intervened and saved him that time. Epstein hid his suicide note inside one of Tartaglione's books, and lawyers later brought the note to court, with handwriting experts confirming Epstein authored it. The note, as described by Tartaglione, contained lines such as, "The FBI looked into me for months and found nothing," and "Time to say goodbye."
Seems a little convenient,
Despite years of conspiracy theories,
the timing
Tartaglione
is
dismissed any claims of foul play,
definitely
stating
questionable.
directly that Epstein definitely committed suicide, and that he was cleared of any involvement. Tartaglione also explained that Epstein lied about being attacked by his cellmate to avoid being placed under suicide watch.
Why would he
and later
wait this long to
apologized for
say
this lie.
anything?
Recent Department of Justice
And
reports
this
an
week,
enhanced surveillance.
with everything else that's going on, I don't know. I don't buy it.
I don't know, man. They're trying to murky up the waters, but man, we're still waiting on that list.
Ever arrive home with no memory of the drive? That's Autopilot. Most of our thoughts aren't even ours. They're echoes from parents, teachers, and culture. We live by scripts we never chose, stuck in patterns we never questioned. These beliefs run our lives from the background, keeping us stuck. Want to break free? Start with awareness. Notice your thoughts. When you feel anxiety or negativity, pause. Ask, is this thought mine? Is it true? This simple question puts you back in control. You can choose your own beliefs and direction. Take the wheel. Don't just ride along.
Portia says, I have dreams all my life about my parent dying, and then they suddenly stop. What does that mean? Well, this is something we've covered before. A parent dying is about removing the negative influence of that parent. Essentially, it's saying, imagine your parent was dead. What would you do differently in your life today? Please do that. So it's not saying like the parent's going to die or anything like that, but live your life fully. Don't let whatever negative influence there is around affect you, and it might even not even feel negative. But if you stop having those dreams, then it means you've done the thing, or you've gone past the date by which you could do the thing that your higher self wanted you to do. But let's stick with the positive and say, whatever it is, you've done it, so now you don't need the dreams trying to guide you anymore.
The system wasn't built for you to win. You went to school to memorize facts you never use. You were trained to raise your hand, wait your turn, and follow instructions. Then they told you, get a job, work 40 hours a week, give half of it to tax, retire at 67 if you're lucky. That's not a life. That's a script. And most people don't question it because they're too tired from living it. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's when you realize freedom was never going to be handed to you. You have to build it. And that's why I teach digital products, because ownership is the only way out. No boss, no begging, no clocking. You move different when you know the system was never designed to serve you. It was designed to use you. Break the script or stay stuck in it.
She dropped nothing but gems on that one, man. I hope you picked it up.
I don't know if you know that there's an actual firewall within us that separates our psyche from the other dimension. They've actually located
No, I
this
don't
thing.
know this.
Oh, okay.
Is this common knowledge?
Default mode network, that's what it's called. They've actually measured this thing with MRIs. They can see where it happens with the blood flow and things like that.
Really?
When people like trip on acid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that thing breaks down and they see elves. Is that what you said?
Yeah. A lot of elves.
A lot of elves, yeah.
Machine elves, clockwork elves. People who take DMT see that. I mean, DMT's in ayahuasca,
right?
Which is what people take when they go on these trips in the jungle, right? It's what these ancient civilizations were taking.
Yeah.
And then they sacrifice a whole bunch of people.
Well, that's what they do.
Basically, they just start killing people.
That's the thing. That's what the Aztecs did. That's what the Toltecs. These are people that actually tripped, and they made it part of the central to their religion, so to speak.
Yeah, to their society.
And then they started killing each other. There are people that actually teach shamanism, that teach the teachings of these people that are now extinct, who basically went to the other side, and the other side spilled into them, and then they wound up killing each other.
Now, but how old were you when you found out that hospital stands for House of Sick People in Trauma and Labour?
Hey, I was today years old, man. Hey, that's wild. Did you know that?
But this is just one kingdom, though. And one of the things that people need to understand as well is that the reality is when you go deep areas of the spirit world and the kingdom of darkness, shape-shifting has a lot to do with the places that you may go. And so this would extend into the secret. Now, I would put secret space program in with part of the. So I'm interrupting that conversation, but like part of the kingdom of the air, because with the secret space program, you have a lot of technology that is based on cloning and is based on soul trafficking. So this is what actually happens. Let's say they need to run an operation on a different planet, but that planet has a different environment. Well, they may design a reptilian body with a person's DNA in it and hybridize it with some other stuff. So it's like partially reptilian-like. They grow it in a lab. That may be done in an off-planet lab. They will take the soul fragment of a person that's been through mind control projects. You're typically government sponsored, so they have access to these people. They will pull that soul part or consciousness out of the body. They will put it inside of this reptilian composite body, and they will run an operation with that body, which is a type of cloning technology on the other planet where the atmosphere and the air and all this stuff is different. And then they will pull that soul part back into the body when necessary or applicable. You'd be surprised at how far cloning technologies have gone, and because we're in an age now where we're engineering our way into all of these different kingdoms. Like there's a lot of partnership that's happened, and so I mean, I even have prayers to deal with the phenomena of a person that comes to get deliverance ministry in the cloned body because the original body is on ice in Antarctica. And I'm not kidding. This is not a public.
By the time you're 35, over 90% of who you are is just a bundle of subconscious programs. Your brain runs on automation, firing the same neural pathways, triggering the same emotional chemistry, and producing the same behavior patterns day after day. You're not deciding who you are each morning. Your brain is replaying who you've been. What you call a personality is just a predictable software of habits running in flesh. Here's where it gets wild. Your thoughts are electrical signals in the brain, and your emotions are chemical responses in the body. Every time you think and feel the same way, you wire that pattern deeper into your nervous system through a process called neuroplasticity. Over time, these mental emotional loops become your identity, not because they're true, but because they're familiar. And the body becomes addicted to the emotional state, whether it's anxiety, guilt, or low-grade bitterness, craving it like a drug. But here's the breakthrough. If your personality is built by repetition, then it can be rebuilt by conscious repetition. Every time you choose a new thought, feel a new emotion, or behave in a new way, even if it feels awkward, you begin firing different neural circuits. And the more you fire them, the more they wire. That's how a new you is built. Not by faking it, but by biologically rehearsing it into being. You're not fixed, you're programmable, and you can edit the code.
That means you got to protect your essence at all costs. What you're listening to, people's opinions, all that will affect you unbeknownst to you. So yeah, be careful out there.
Leonardo DiCaprio is allegedly hiding his face because his nose is so damaged from Coca-Cola use. So that's why we always see him wearing a mask or covering his face with a hat. This permanent A-list actor doesn't have to bend the knee. He just sends his girlfriend off to play with the emperor's wife, and the actor can get whatever he wants. He really should take care of that Coca-Cola'd out nose, though, so he doesn't always have to wear a mask. And again, this allegedly Leonardo DiCaprio, his girlfriend Vittoria Soretti, and Lauren Sanchez, Jeff Bezos' new wife. And the related headline reads, Vittoria Soretti was the best-dressed guest at the Bezos-Sanchez wedding. This past weekend, the Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez wedding festivities took over Venice, Italy. The multi-day affair included an impressive crew of celebrity guests, including Kim Kardashian, Kylie and Kendall Jenner, Sydney Sweeney, Oprah Winfrey, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Vittoria Soretti, and many more. While each star brought their best statement looks to the party and to the various pre- and after parties, it was Soretti who emerged as the best-dressed attendee.
On the calendar of scripture.com, painting of Circe, C-I-R-C', her right hand has a cup the cup of the fornication that she gives to nations. This is why we call California. The original term of California did not start with the letter C. It started with the letter K. Cali. Well, who was Kali? K-A-L-I. Glad you asked. Kali is a 6-armed goddess demon within the religion of Hinduism, with the skulls of men on her body. That's Kali. She was the consort of the male demon god called Shiva, S-H-I-V-A, also within Hinduism, who has 4 arms. Wait a minute. So Kali, K-A-L-I, has 6 arms. Her consort, she's the consort of her husband, another demon, Shiva, who has 4 arms. 6 and 4, 10. Here comes the counterfeit. So Satan says, you know what? I know God created the universe in 10 dimensions in Genesis 1, but I'm going to bring back a counterfeit of 10, mixed in with demons of Kali, 6, and Shiva, 4 arms, or 4, 6, 46 chromosomes. So California, Kali, the goddess, which means life or dark life in Hinduism, then the term fornia. Brother, this is where you get the term fornication. Oh my God, oh Lord have
the
mercy.
goblet of fire, right?
Look at that.
This is the same image.
Oh my God, say that again.
So I'm pulling this up when I edit it. So the 4th book, I want to say, of Harry Potter, which wrote J.K. Rowling with the tattoo of Baphomet.
Yes, yes.
So basically, he holds this wand in the left hand and this goblet in his right hand. This is the same thing as you mentioned.
Same thing for Cersei. Yeah. You see, she holds.
But it's so freaking connected like this.
Connected.
But do you think they do this intentionally? Or this is the demons or the Satan is working through them?
It's both. They do it intentionally, but through the demons of intentionality. In other words, with Cersei, the chalice in her right hand, this is inside is pharmakia. You ever see those pharmacology symbols of a cup or a bowl?
With a snake.
Yeah. Also with a utensil that breaks down the powder of a pill. Okay? And on her left hand is a wand made out of holly.
Yes.
Hollywood.
I see that. This is the 3rd time I've come through, and this is exactly how I've seen them. 3 times now.
Alright, tell me I'm on fucking crack. Every time I turn off the light, there's like a shadow there. Watch. You see that? What the f? Tell me I'm not on crack, dude.
Who are the biggest influences on humanity at this time?
It's a good question. I mean, there are certainly a number of the Galactic Senate right now is very involved in our transition. So that whatever we're here to do and whatever we're transitioning in, they're very involved in the observational part of that, as well as some of the management part of that, as well as some of the operational part of that.
And for the audience, Randy, the Galactic Senate, go ahead and give us a...
Sure, that is the largest operational body, governing body in the galaxy, in which participating worlds and civilizations have a seat, have a representation in that Senate. Policy is discussed, votes are taken, decisions are made, and people are sent out to go do work based on votes and decisions that are made.
Is it planet to planet, or solar system to solar system, or galaxy to galaxy?
I mean, it's
the representation. I mean,
it's everything. It's always starts small and
like
goes bigger. It's always tiered, right? Mm-hmm. We have, municipal politics, county politics, state politics, federal politics. You have similar tiers, that start at what the lowest level of interactive civil government is and the highest level.
It's pretty mind-blowing to think that there might be a galactic meeting with everybody in attendance. And when I say everybody, literally everybody. But let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening here on Earth when there's dysfunction in the workplace.
26-year-old Afeni Muhammad in court Friday afternoon, charged with first-degree murder. East Point police say Muhammad fatally stabbed her manager, 39-year-old Jennifer Harris, inside the McDonald's where they both worked on 9 Mile Thursday morning.
Prior to the stabbing, Muhammad was sent home by Harris for not performing her work duties and told Harris, "I'll be back."
2 days before the stabbing, Muhammad posted a video on her Instagram, which is public. This is a small portion of that video.
But to get sent home 2 days in a row, man, and I came in on my off day to make up my time, and she still sends me home early, it's not funny. Somebody will have to do something about that.
Due to the suspect having a record in Virginia for a similar crime involving another knife, the judge set her bond at $25 million cash or surety.
Investigators say the suspect stabbed Harris several times inside the drive-through portion of the fast food restaurant. A customer, a CPL holder, was in his car and witnessed the crime. Authorities say he shot his gun in the air, attempting to stop the violence. When the suspect ran out of the restaurant, the CPL holder held her at gunpoint until police arrived.
Talk about tragic, but I did find the video, so let's take a look at what the perp had to say.
I got sent home early yesterday. I got sent home early today by the same person. I'm telling you, she's a bully. This shit isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother and got children doesn't mean that she can come in the store, you know, disrespecting people, talking to them like everybody's beneath her. She has no respect.
Official, Akon City, Africa's promised real-life Wakanda, has just been abandoned permanently. This is what it was supposed to look like next year, and this is what it looks like today. So what the hell went so wrong?
People sometimes will write articles about something like this could never happen in Africa. It's been 2 years, the construction hasn't started. I hear that all the time. We're building a city. You don't build a city in 24 hours.
Turns out, a city can't be built in 7 years either. Because rewind back to 2018, rapper Akon announced that he was going to build a $6 billion futuristic city on the Atlantic coast of Senegal, the country where he spent a lot of time growing up. And the plan was revolutionary. It would run on 100% sustainable energy, have cutting-edge smart city infrastructure. Its sole medium of exchange would be a cryptocurrency called Acoin, and most importantly, the city would serve as a symbol for what was actually possible for Africa's future. And Senegal themselves, they were hyped. They even asked the people that were currently living on that land to move, in exchange for a fee, of course, also a fee that still to this day they claim has never been paid. And that's where the first cracks in Akon City begin, because 3 years after its initial announcement, local residents started reporting that aside from a single ceremonial foundation stone, virtually no construction had begun. Now, Akon said it was the pandemic, and look, hey, 2020, it screwed the whole world over. But then came the scam allegations. In 2022, Akon's former business partner asked a New York judge to freeze Akon's assets, and also filed a $4 million lawsuit claiming that Akon City displayed many of the trademark characteristics of a Ponzi scheme and a pyramid scheme. However, despite this, Akon remained positive. He took the nearly $1 million settlement on the chin and kept insisting Akon City is 100,000% moving forward, and the critics are gonna look super stupid when it's built. But the years kept rolling around. By the end of 2023, The Guardian went to Akon City, and they found no more than a mere skeleton of one building and some cattle and goats grazing on its overgrown fields. No roads, no housing, solar farms, or towers like he had promised by the end of that year. Then 2024 rolled around, and even Senegal at this point was getting pissed. They gave Akon 2 weeks to begin meaningful construction, or they would start taking away the land. Problem is, crypto went into a bear market and Acoin wasn't doing so well. In fact, today it is down 100%. And that was a big financial pillar, especially to repay investors. So that, coupled with the lack of progress and missed payments, was the final nail in the coffin. Akon once said, "My goal is to try and build something that people deem impossible in Africa." And unfortunately for the entire continent, he proved people right. Because this week they announced the Akon City project no longer exists, and Akon himself will instead work on something more realistic.
Hey, I was actually excited for this. You know, I thought it was possible at first, but it did definitely garner a lot of negative press over time because nothing was done. So that's sad, man. I hope one day they can get their act together.
A staggering amount of satanic Hollywood sellouts, all paying respect to their Lord and Master, all doing the same thing over and over again. And this really should help wake people up, right? This is a ridiculous amount of fallen angel worship and an overwhelming amount of evidence, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you may recognize a lot of these people, some may not, right? But the point will be made clear that these people are not to be put on pedestals and worshipped like the fallen angels before them, ladies and gentlemen. You know, Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden. You know, Alice Cooper. I did a 3-part series on him, right? And that freak Marilyn Manson and his sellout Goonies buddy. And Princess Leia. Yeah. Janet Jackson. Prince. Muhammad Ali. Oh, I also found one with Muhammad Ali in a very clever photograph with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right? Hey, Arnold doesn't care about your freedom. Right? Don't forget that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Ronnie James Dio. I saw him twice, so I could easily do a video on Ronnie James Dio. Robert Downey, the Iron Mason of Hollywood. I did a video on him, check that out. Let's see. Oh, Keith Richards. That shouldn't shock anybody. There's no way you get the longevity he had without selling your soul. This wrestling personality here. Rhea Ripley, I believe it is. Now, she's making it very clear. Hunter, oh, he's something. Now, if you look him up, you'll find that he admitted to selling his soul. Charlie Sheen, do you think he's still winning, ladies and gentlemen? All right, we'll zip through some of these real fast here. Look at this. Osiris Risen on speed dial, just to show you how ridiculous this is. All right, Michael Jackson. Oh, Johnny Depp. All right, watch my Alice Cooper Exposed series. In part 2, you'll see everything you need to know about the satanic sellout, Johnny Depp.
Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books, man. I appreciate you guys for stopping by it again and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, smash that like button for me. Hit that hype button. If you're not already a part of the iTrack fam, man, smash that subscribe button, and I definitely will catch you on the next one.